Hey guys, Tina here and welcome to a vlog type of video. I am participating in One Readathon to rule them all for the next couple of weeks, and I decided to vlog my experience, so hopefully this is going to be fun. I feel like I suck at vlogs, but you have to practice and make it perfect at some point. But anyways, I plan to do like 2 videos this way, one for each week. And for those of you who do not know what One Readathon to Rule Them All is, it's actually a 2 weeks long readathon that takes place from the 29th of April till the 12th of May, and it's focused on reading fantasy books. There's a bunch of challenges, and for those I do suggest you go watch my video, my TBR video that I posted just before this. It's a lot more informative, and also you can see all the books that I will be attempting to read. It's a very ambitious TBR, and I will not even be able to get to it until tomorrow, basically, because I have some old stats. I have been reading 2 books since Aprilathon. I started them then, and I have not been really good at reading, clearly, or they would be read. And I decided I have to actually finish them. I will try to finish them today, at least one today, because I do not want to like put them aside for the next 2 weeks and then try to pick them up. And one is an arc even, so I mean the book itself has been out for like ever, but I think the paperback came out or something like that, so I received an arc and I want to at least do that one so I can talk about it in my wrap-up, one of my wrap-ups anyways. And the books that I'm talking about, one is Geekerella by Ashley Poston, which is a retelling of Cinderella, and I'm not a huge fan of retellings, I have to say. I mean, I'm not a huge fan of fairy tales just in general. I have probably forgotten them all from my childhood, to be completely honest, but I am enjoying this one, and it's a fast read, so I should be able to read it today. I have still some 60% left, so yeah, it's quite a chunk, but it is a fast read, so if I actually dedicate some time to reading, instead of, I don't know, playing a video game, I think that will actually just work just fine. And the other book is actually Down Among the Sticks and Bones by Sean McGuire, which is book 2 in the Wayward Children series, and I'm like almost halfway through this one. And again, I mean, honestly, I could use both of these books for this readathon if I, at least, well, Geekerella, if I sort of know, cheat a bit maybe. Oh, but still, I do want to finish them today, or at least one today and the other one maybe tomorrow, and so then I could focus on my actual TBR for this readathon. But I think that's it for right now, and I will keep you updated how my progress goes. Hopefully it's going to be fine, and yeah, I'll let you know. So I have an update for you guys. I made some progress in Geekerella, and I just had to put it down for a few seconds or minutes because I came to a part that really pissed me off. And there's a few things actually that I don't like in this book. Just basically, it's mostly about how people are treated. We have Darian, who's this soap superstar, and he wants to make it big on the big screen, and he's being treated like shit from his co-stars, by his co-stars, because he has this privileged life, sort of, because his mother is, I don't know, billionaire, his father's a manager, so everybody assumes that he has it easy, but still he has to put in the work. It's not just, yes, he has probably an easier start. He had probably an easier start to everything because of who his parents are, but still, if he doesn't do the work, he will fail, basically. But anyways, and people treat him like shit, and I just so hate it right now. And then we have Ella, who's the Cinderella in this story, and her stepsisters just did something that made me so furious. They're just such little bitches. I really don't like them right now, definitely. But yeah, that's basically the update. So it's April the 30th, and it's the second day of the readathon, and yesterday I did manage to finish Geekerella. It was pretty late, so I, forgot to update, but still, here we are. And I have to say that I'm not a hugest fan of that book. It was pretty average for me. It's a typical young adult YA, yes, redundant, Tina. Contemporary, based off a fairy tale, which, I don't care for that much, as I said already. And for the most part it was average. I didn't like the characters, but I did like how fandom was represented, and it was also very diverse. But for more of my thoughts, you'll have to wait until my wrap up, because I will go more in depth about it then. And I'm sorry if you hear my dog walking, but at least she's walking, because lately her legs are not really holding her up. So she's dragging herself a lot. So if she's walking, it's so positive because I don't have to go pick her up. But yes, aside from that, today's plan is to actually go for a run if the weather will permit it. It started, well, the wind started to blow recently, or just about now, so hopefully that doesn't mean that there's a storm coming, because I don't mind running in the rain if it's just like a drizzle, but if it's a storm, I really would like to avoid that. But after that, the plan is to start reading the 5th season by A.K. Jemisin. I want to read the whole trilogy in these 2 weeks, so if I want to do that, I have to read about 120 pages a day. Which, given the fact that I heard that this is a slow read, might still be quite a chore, but hopefully I will love it and it will not feel like that. But I will keep you updated as to that. To update you guys, I did start reading the 5th season today, and I'm currently at the point where I wanted to be by this evening, and I will continue to listen to it because that's the way I decided to go with all the books that I plan to read in the next couple of weeks. I just figured it's going to be easier if I listen to some, because, well, you can do that while you're doing other stuff, and it's just going to be easier for me. And so far so good. I am liking it. I'm not that into it yet, it has not drawn me in completely yet. I am starting to learn about the world. There's a lot to learn. There's a bunch of characters that we follow, and through their perspectives, of course, we learn about the world. There are definitely elements of this world that I don't care for, especially how women are treated in some parts of it. It's still slightly confusing, but I think I'll get the gist of it pretty soon, or hopefully, or maybe that's just my illusion, I don't know. But yeah, the writing I'm not a huge fan of right now, but that might change, and I'm sorry because there's a train coming and I'm not stopping filming this video, so hopefully you'll be able to hear me. There's this character that's written in the 2nd person and the rest are in the 3rd. That's interesting, and there's just a lot of stuff going on that I have to just absorb and make sense of. So as of right now, I'm excited about it and I cannot wait to continue on. I will listen to a bit more today, I'm sure, and then obviously continue tomorrow, and I will keep you posted on how that is going. So I thought I would update you guys as to how my reading is going, and I'm currently about halfway through the 5th season, and I am I don't know. I still don't know how I feel about it. I don't, find it as great as people are saying that it is, and so inventive and all that. It's pretty average for me so far. It's definitely interesting, and I want to learn more about this situation and this world and everything that's going on. But aside from that, it's not really gripping me yet. But currently, I am clearly not at home, and I'm not reading. I'm actually at a friend's barbecue, or what's supposed to become a barbecue, because we're in the preparation stages as of right now. There's also going to be a small bonfire, and yeah, but let me tell you about this barbecue. It's basically an old washing machine drum that he's using. He's very giddy about it lately, and I'm going to show you the situation right now. As you can see, the preparations are currently being made. That's the bonfire, and that's this thrilling drum that's gonna prepare our food. But yeah, that's it. And there's castle also, so we have everything. To update you guys, yesterday I had a really good time. We had a blast with my friends. We played this game that involved a lot of throwing, which, no, I can't throw, or it's embarrassing looking, but I can throw things. I just don't hit anything, so despite that, we had a great time, and I even managed to win a few times. We had some food, and luckily not too much, because that is always a problem, when you have to gorge, basically, but it was just a round amount, and I did appreciate that. So all in all, it was a great evening, and then later on I even managed to read a bit more, and I'm really getting invested in this story. Still not really a fan of it, but things are definitely progressing very nicely. and I'm excited to learn more about it because I don't find it as confusing as people say it is, but clearly there's a lot of information that is still missing and that I have to learn. And I do hope to actually, that's a weirdo that lives here. And actually there's, I plan to finish it today if possible, so tomorrow I can take a break from this series and read a couple of novellas. And yeah, that's the plan, but we shall see how that will go, because my planning skills are, sort of suck. So finally managed to finish the 5th season by A.K. Jemisin, which is the first book in the series, and I'm planning to read the whole trilogy for that challenge of reading a book with 1,000 pages or more, but since I don't have that one, or one that I would like to read, I decided to read a whole trilogy, which will count for that. And this is obviously the first one in the series, and I don't know how I feel about it, honestly. Right now I'm so conflicted. I think it was pretty average. I definitely don't feel the love that people feel towards this book or this series in general. I did sort of warm up to it in the last third, because things were finally happening. Up to that point, like, I felt that it was just boring. Honestly, I couldn't really get into it. I didn't care for the characters. I don't care for the story. I did not find it as confusing as some people say it is. Yes, there are elements of surprise, and definitely I don't understand everything because there's still information being revealed, obviously. I did guess one of the connections between the characters, that, the POV characters, and after that happened, I obviously thought there was a connection with the third one as well, which, I'm not going to spoil anything, but yeah. Aside from that, I think I just have to process it. One reason for why I think I might not have liked it as much is that I listened to it instead of reading a physical copy, because, I don't know, there's just this disconnect when I'm listening to a book instead of reading it. It's sort of the same with me and ebooks. Sometimes they just take away some of the pleasure of reading a book, a physical book, and it's the same with audiobooks. I listen to it and I get distracted and I miss some stuff and I just don't feel the same connection. So that might be part of the reason why I didn't care for it as much. Despite that, as I mentioned or not, I'm not sure. I did warm up to it towards in the last third. Things were finally happening, and there was a lot of interesting information being given. So I'm looking forward to reading the next one, and then hopefully my opinion will change. But until then, I need to take a little break from that series, so I decided to today pick up Binti by Nadia Okorafor, which is a short novella. It shouldn't be a problem to get through it. Hopefully, if I can pee myself away from this video game that I'm playing. But yeah, this is one of the books that I would like to get to today, and if that actually happens, I will then pick up, or this is not helpful, this is more helpful, I will then continue on with reading Down Among the Sticks and Bones by Shannon Maguire. This is another of those reads that I started at the beginning of April and didn't finish it, so I would like to do that. But yeah, those are basically the plans, and as always, I will keep you updated. Finished reading Binti by Nadia Okorafor, and again, an average book for me. I'm not sure how I picked my TBR for this readathon, but I was not really thrilled by any of the books so far that I read. Well, one was not even part of my TBR, but still, they're all okay, but they just don't blow me away. I don't love them as much as I hoped I would. Anyways, this is a book about Binti, who wants to go to this renowned university. She's actually chosen to go, and since she comes from this culture and a group of people that are very closed off, she faces a lot of backlash at home because her family doesn't want her to go, and also, despite that, she finds the courage to go anyways. And when she meets other people, she also faces their prejudices in regards to her own group, because her people are sort of shunned and they're just closed off, and she has to deal with that. And I think that because of that, she really sticks to her culture and traditions and just holds them dear. And also, she's going into this vast unknown world, and I think all of that brings her comfort. So I did like that a lot. and she's also a very strong character. She faces that with a lot of strength and power, and she's also basically also ends up in a warlike situation and has to deal with that, and she really does a good job as well. So all in all, I did like those parts, but the story itself didn't really pull me in, and some of the parts I found actually really ridiculous, to be just honest. The writing was good. I like that. It moves really fast, so that's not a problem. And I have to say that I've seen the new covers and I just love them. These are okay, but those are beautiful. As to me reading on in this series, I do have Binti Holmes, so I will read that one. It's part of this TBR as well, and it's also part of BookTube SFF Award nominees. So I want to read it. After that, I'm not sure whether or not I'm going to pick the last book up. It would make sense since, I do want to finish series. If I start them and if I read two, I should probably read the third one as well, and they're short because they're novellas. But I guess it all depends on how much I would like the second book. But yeah, basically that's it. I will try to find more thoughts when I come to my wrap-up, but until then, I have to decide what book to pick up next, and I'm not sure yet. It will make sense that I would finish Down Among the Sticks and Bones since I'm already halfway through, but we shall see how the mood strikes me, and I guess you will learn in my next clip. Just a brief update. So I'm basically now about 40% through the Obelisk Gate, which is book 2 in the Broken Earth trilogy, which follows the 5th season, and I have to say I like it a lot more than the first book in the series. I think that there's like a lot more going on. It's just not like, it's not just an info dump. Things are actually, there's a mission. We know what the main character is supposed to do or what they think that she's supposed to do. So it's not like just all a setup, but things are actually happening, and I'm really liking it so far. So yeah, fingers crossed that continues. So currently I'm a bit more than halfway through the Obelisk Gate, and I'm still loving it. We are getting so much information about this world and how it came to be the way it is, and I really like that. I mean, compared to the 5th season, this is such a good book, in my opinion, obviously. So I don't think that I will manage to finish it today, but I definitely plan to do that tomorrow morning. Just to give you a concept of time, it's Saturday evening right now here, so I plan to sort of finish it Sunday morning, hopefully, and then I would like to edit this vlog and post it as well. I also managed to watch 3 documentaries in the last few days. One was about the Boston Underground, how it was built, how it began to be built, and was really interesting. It also gave me an idea about my book. And then I also watched a documentary about Tesla, and he's a very fascinating character. Scientist. He is a character a bit, but still, and he had some really great ideas, but he was, well, until recently, when people started to really talk about him again, I think he was basically forgotten for a while there. And I also watched a documentary about Oklahoma City, which is, well, a bit more depressing, but also very interesting. I mean, it's fascinating to see how people come to be who they are, how they come to act the way they do and all that. Still, it was a sad situation, definitely. But anyways, they were all very informative, and I did like that. I don't watch that many documentaries, or I do, as long as they're not about animals. I don't watch those because I really hate it when, the voiceover, whoever sort of interprets what the animal is thinking. I hate that because, I don't know, I just hate that. Anyway, so I don't watch those. But yeah, these were great, and I do recommend them, and they're all on Netflix, so at least they are here. I don't know how Netflix really works, so yeah. I'm gonna stop babbling and talk to you tomorrow, and hopefully you'll be able to see this tomorrow as well. So to finish this vlog, I finished reading The Obelisk Gate by A.K. Jemisin, which I've never shown in this video before. So for those of you who don't know, this is the cover. It's beautiful. The whole trilogy has beautiful covers. But yeah, I finished it, and I have to say I liked it a lot better than the 5th season. I don't like any of the characters particularly, I don't love them or anything like that, but they are fun to read about, and I especially am fascinated by, well, not so much the world, because, well, I guess what happened to the world, because it feels like this is Earth in the future, and it's fascinating learning what happened and how they got to the place where they're at, which is what I liked most about this book, as well as the fact that we are finally exploring what possibilities there are about saving the world and bringing it to a more stable situation. And I liked that, and we learn a lot about this magic in this world. So I did like it a lot better, clearly, than the fifth season, and I will talk more about it in my wrap up. I have to sort of put my thoughts together. All in all, it's not gonna be my favorite trilogy out, ever, but it's a likable thing. It's a likable thing. It's dystopian though, so I'm really sort of not a fan of dystopians anymore. They sort of feel too close to home of what is possible. Well, not with the magic, but with the destruction part usually, and the suppression and all that. So, yeah, there's a lot of this in this story because they're like different type of people, and they sort of, try to control each other and abuse and use each other, or different groups anyways, and it's yeah, I don't like reading that much about them, but basically you cannot avoid that in literature because it's in every book in some way. It's the reality of, well, humanity, sadly, but we are far from solving that. So anyways, yeah, I think I'm gonna sort of end this vlog right here so I can edit it and post it today and just start a new one. And as to what I hope to read next, it's probably, it should be Down Among the Sticks and Bones, because it's ridiculous. I've been reading that book for a month and I'm still like halfway through only. I find it so surprising because I loved Every Heart a Doorway, but this one is just not grabbing me, and it's everybody's favorite compared to the others in the series. So I don't like being an exception every time. And I don't know, they say it's the best, so I still hope that there's hope for me to like it. I'm basically right now at the point where the girls decided where they want to be in the, after they went through the doorway. So hopefully I will start liking it. Or actually, you know what, I just have to push through because it's not helping that I'm reading like a chapter here and now, here and there. So I think I will have to do that, but I will update you about that in my next vlog. So thank you for watching this mess. I know I suck at vlogging, and I will get better hopefully with some practice. But yeah, anyways, talk to you in my next video. Bye.